Turning a legendary TV series into a feature film is always a gamble. One misstep, and you don't just have a mediocre movie, you risk tarnishing the legacy of an entire show. That's exactly the pressure on Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man. Fans aren't just expecting action or style, they're expecting the story of Tommy Shelby to reach a satisfying, meaningful conclusion. The show set the bar high with 6 seasons of sharp dialogue, tension-filled standoffs, and a world that feels alive even when it's covered in smoke, soot, and endless cigarette ash. Now, the question is whether the film delivers a payoff worthy of all that investment. The movie begins with Tommy Shelby absent from Birmingham, leaving his son Duke to manage the gang. Chaos is inevitable. But what immediately stands out is the scale. The series always looked stylish and cinematic, but this film screams feature budget. Bombed-out streets, fog-shrouded alleys, distant air raid sirens, it's bigger, denser, and heavier than anything the series explored. And yet, amid the spectacle, the story doesn't forget its heart, Tommy Shelby. This isn't just another tale of gang wars, political manipulation, and empire building. Beneath the smoke and slow-motion walks lies a quieter question. After all, the blood, ambition, and power, can a man like Tommy Shelby ever find peace? Or is he doomed to roam life like a ghost in an impossibly expensive coat? That introspection transforms the film into something far more emotional than a traditional gangster story. It's not explosions and betrayals. It's a study of a man carrying the weight of everything he's done, and that weight is staggering. For fans, this is the moment they've been waiting for. For newcomers, it may feel dense and impenetrable, but at its core, The Immortal Man is a film about legacy, exhaustion, and a man who has survived too much to ever be the same. And yes, Tommy Shelby, as always, carries it all. Turning one of television's most iconic crime dramas into a feature film is always risky, because a misstep can tarnish not just a single movie, but the legacy of the entire series. That is precisely the weight resting on Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. The key question is simple. Does this film give Tommy Shelby the ending he deserves, or does it prove the show should have ended with Season 6? The movie, written by creator Stephen Knight and set during World War II, picks up with Tommy Shelby absent from the Peaky Blinders world, leaving his son, Duke, to run the gang. Naturally, chaos follows. At first, the film immediately feels far larger in scale than the original series. While the Peaky Blinders show was always stylish and well-crafted, making grimy Birmingham feel cool despite layers of soot, smoke, and what seems like endless cigarette ash, this movie has the unmistakable polish of a proper feature budget. It's clear someone at the studio decided to go big, and it shows. The war setting alone adds a weight and atmosphere the series never fully explored before. Bombed-out cityscapes, fog-laden streets, and air raid sirens echoing in the distance, all combining to give the story a scale and tension that immediately sets it apart from its television origins. The film immediately gives the sense that the world itself is exhausted, which fits perfectly with Tommy Shelby, who has looked perpetually sleep-deprived since Season 2. Yet it retains the gritty Birmingham aesthetic that made the series so memorable. Shadowed alleys, slow-motion walks, and tense, dramatic music accompanying every stare-down, whether signaling the start of a gang war or something as mundane as ordering tea. But in the movie, everything feels amplified, larger, heavier, undeniably cinematic. It's as if the story finally stepped off the television screen and stretched its legs. Interestingly, fans expecting another 3-hour gangster spectacle might be surprised. This movie leans far more into Tommy Shelby as a character than into traditional crime drama. Instead of relying solely on explosions, betrayals, and the iconic "by order of the Peaky Blinders" the moments, it slows down considerably. Quiet, reflective, and introspective, it almost feels like the film is metaphorically sitting Tommy Shelby on a therapist's couch, asking him to confront his own psyche. For a character like Tommy, known for his unflinching control and ruthlessness, this is deeply unnerving. The movie methodically examines the remnants of the man after everything he's endured and done, a staggering, heavy inventory that the story treats with surprising care and attention. This man has sparked gang wars, manipulated politicians, destroyed countless lives, built a criminal empire, and smoked roughly 4,000 cigarettes per episode. So naturally, the film revolves around one quiet central question. After all the violence, all the ambition, and all the power, can Tommy Shelby ever find peace? Or is he destined to wander through life like a ghost in an impossibly expensive coat? Surprisingly, this approach works far better than expected. Rather than just delivering another Tommy Shelby destroys everyone again story, the movie digs into who he has become. That choice makes the story feel more mature, more emotional, and far more compelling than a simple 2-hour sequence of gangsters shouting at each other in slow motion. Of course, Tommy Shelby remains the heart of the film. Let's be clear, if you've seen even a few minutes of Peaky Blinders, you already know the truth. This franchise lives and dies with one man. Remove Tommy, and what remains is just a group of men in fancy coats wandering through smoke while dramatic music swells, which, while still stylish, isn't the same. Once again, Cillian Murphy carries the film entirely, turning it into a 90-minute emotional tour de force. Seriously, the man barely needs dialogue. Most of the time, a single stare into the distance is enough, as if he's simultaneously calculating 7 different revenge plots and a stock market move. In this film, Tommy feels markedly different from the early seasons. He's older, visibly worn, and looks like someone who's survived every imaginable version of hell and then bought real estate there. This isn't the assured mastermind who once entered a room as if he already knew how every conversation would end. Instead, this is a man who has survived too many wars, lost too many people, made countless enemies, and smoked enough cigarettes to fund the entire British tobacco industry himself. That exhaustion permeates nearly every scene. It's clear Tommy isn't just battling rivals anymore, he's wrestling with his own past. Cillian Murphy captures that perfectly. Subtle, quiet, and nuanced, his performance conveys more through micro-expressions than dialogue. For a character known for essentially 3 facial expressions, thinking, plotting, and thinking about plotting, Murphy adds unprecedented depth, making Tommy Shelby feel more layered than ever. Without him, this movie simply wouldn't work. Now for the big question, should you watch this movie? Here's the honest take. If you haven't seen the Peaky Blinders series, this film likely won't work for you. It assumes familiarity with the characters, the history, and the tangled relationships. But if you're a fan, it absolutely feels like a meaningful final chapter. The movie doesn't reinvent the show, but it honors what made it great. So where does Peaky Blinders: The Immortal Man land? For me, it's not perfect, not flawless, but still a strong emotional conclusion to one of television's best crime stories. I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars. It expands Tommy Shelby's journey without betraying the character we followed for 6 seasons. And really, that's exactly what this movie needed to accomplish. Now I want to hear from you. Did The Immortal Man give Tommy Shelby the ending he deserved, or should the show have stopped at season 6? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy honest movie reviews with genuine opinions, don't forget to subscribe.